The 1984 International Games for the Disabled, canonically the 1984 Summer Paralympics, were the seventh Paralympic Games to be held. They were in fact two separate competitions, one in Stoke Mandeville, United Kingdom for wheelchair athletes with spinal cord injuries, and the other at the Mitchell Athletic Complex and Hofstra University in Long Island, New York, United States of America, for wheelchair and ambulatory athletes with cerebral palsy, amputees, and les auteurs. The others. Stoke Mandeville had been the location of the Stoke Mandeville Games from 1948 onwards, seen as the precursors to the Paralympic Games. As with the 1984 Summer Olympics, the Soviet Union and other communist countries except China, East Germany, Hungary, Poland and Yugoslavia boycotted the Paralympic Games. Furthermore, Odida Rosenthal, a professor of humanities at a local community college on Long Island and translator for the Austrian team, highlighted a number of problems at the Games in a series of articles. She highlighted a number of issues such as poor communication, administrative hiccups, and even bus drivers not knowing the routes to scheduled events that even caused some teams to miss events completely. Rosenthal continues by slamming the work by the police chief, claiming the chief took the opposite tack of anything that was suggested to sort out the mess. However, overall reports and the general impression given off by the Games was a friendly atmosphere and volunteers trying their hardest under difficult conditions. Mascot. The mascot for the 1984 Paralympic Games was Dandy Lion, which was designed by an art teacher, Mary Ann McGrath-Higgins. Opening ceremonies. Patchy showers greeted the 14,000 spectators packed into the Mitchell Park Stadium for the 2 p.m. start of the New York Games opening ceremony on the 19th June. New York radio personality William B. Williams introduced everyone with a welcome speech. Entertainers such as Bill Buzzio and the Dixie Ramblers, Richie Havens, the New Image Drum and Bugle Corps, the Art Gospel Chorus and the Square Dance Extravaganza followed the introduction speech. Closing ceremonies. New York Commander Archie Cameron, president of ICC, officially closed the Games with a short speech acknowledging the athletes and the next host nation, Seoul, South Korea. The flags of the Games were then lowered and American athletes carried the flags back to the reviewing stand where they were handed over. The president of the Games, Dr. William T. Callahan. Sports. Competitors were divided into 5 disability-specific categories: amputee, cerebral palsy, visually impaired, wheelchair, and les auteurs. The wheelchair category was for those competitors who used a wheelchair due to a spinal cord disability. However, some athletes in the amputee and cerebral palsy categories also competed in wheelchairs. Within the sport of athletics, a wheelchair marathon event was held for the first time. The trails for the first wheelchair event to be held at the 1984 Los Angeles Olympic Games was held in conjunction with the New York Games. However, despite the long and established history of using Paralympic terminology in the United States, the U.S. Olympic Committee prohibited the Games organizers from using the term. The 17 contested sports are listed below, along with the disability categories which competed in each: archery, cerebral palsy, wheelchair, and les auteurs. Athletics, all. Boccia, cerebral palsy. Cycling, cerebral palsy. Equestrian, cerebral palsy. Football 7-a-side, cerebral palsy. Goalball, visually impaired. Lawn bowls, amputee and wheelchair. Lifting, amputee, cerebral palsy, wheelchair, and les auteurs. Powerlifting, weightlifting. Shooting, amputee, cerebral palsy, wheelchair, and les auteurs. Snooker, wheelchair. Swimming, all. Table tennis, amputee, cerebral palsy, wheelchair, and les auteurs. Volleyball, amputee and les auteurs. Wheelchair basketball, wheelchair and les auteurs. Wheelchair fencing, wheelchair. Wrestling, visually impaired. Medal table. The host nations, Great Britain and the United States, are highlighted. Participating delegations. 54 delegations took part in the 1984 Paralympics.